VLI Prabhu.
Okay. One second. Okay, so to give you a context, we are reading Madhurya Kādambini, work by Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, which is explaining about the different stages of bhakti, how we are progressing through. We saw Shraddha, initially the devotee gets Shraddha, and then Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, and then destruction of Anarthas start, after which the devotee attains the stage of Nishta, very steady. And then a taste arises, and then attachment to the Lord happens, and then we come to the stage Bhāva, which is the glimpse of love of God. This Bhāva is actually the real love. In one sense, it is called the real bhakti also. Okay. Atha sa eva asaktihi paramaparinamam praptavati rati aparaparyayaha bhavaka iti akyam labhate. So this asakti in the previous stage, this bhakti only greatly transforms. So after the seventh stage, there is a bigger transformation that happens. Until seventh stage, it is, you can say it's in the sadhana stage, but from eighth stage onward, it's completely different, right? So it undergoes a great transformation. And then it attains this name called Rati. Rati means love of God. Okay, it also has another name, Bhava. Yaha eva ki Satchidananda iti Shakti Trikasya Sarupa Bhutasya Kandali Bhavam Bhajate. Now, the three Shaktis of the Lord, Sat, Chit, and Ananda, they come and manifest in the devotee part of the Bhava stage. So before that, he did not have these three Shaktis of the Supreme Lord, Sat, Chit, and Ananda. But at that point, these Shaktis, Swarupa Bhuta, that is the Swarupa Shakti of the Lord, they come and manifest. It gives out a sprout, Kandali Bhava. So he is actually getting a part of the Supreme Lord, eternally embedded in part of him. Yameva khalu bhakti kalpa valya utpullam prasunam achakshate. So at this point, the bhakti creeper is growing, and the bhakti creeper, it starts blossoming. Flowers come out. Before this stage, there was no flower, but from this stage onwards, there is a flower that's coming out. Yasya cha bhagya eva prabha sarvai sudurlabha abhyantari tu moksham api laghu karoti. So it has two characteristics. The primary characteristic is it is very difficult to attain. It is very rare to attain. Sarvaihi sudurlabha. That is the secondary characteristic. And the primary characteristic is it is moksham api laghu karoti. It disregards the moksha. So at this stage, your ignorance are all gone. You are awakened. You are in touch with the Lord. So you realize the Lord. You realize your relationship with the Lord also. So the ahankara is destroyed. So, which means that you have already attained the liberated stage. Right? So because you have attained the liberated stage, you just don't consider, liberation as a matter of fact. You just can disregard it because you have achieved something higher than that. Not just that, but something higher than that. So does anyone know the 6 qualities of bhakti? Can anyone tell? We are also reading Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It is also listed there. Those who are Bhakti Shastri students, they can also say. Can anyone name the 6 qualities of bhakti?
Thinking that Kṛṣṇa is our protector and the maintainer. Is it the same one I'm talking about?
That is Sharanagati, what you are talking about, 6 qualities of surrender.
Kleshagni, all those, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Kleshagni and I forgot, Prabhu.
Shubhada.
Shubhada, Shubhada brings all auspiciousness. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah.
Prabhu, can I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Kleshagni Subhada, Moksha Lagutakrut, Sandrananda Visheshatma, Sri Kṛṣṇa Karshani, and I think one more is missing.
Sudurlabha.
Sudurlabha, yeah.
Sudurlabha, yeah. So the first two are Kleshagni. Very good. Thank you for mentioning all these things. The Kleshagni, Shubhada. Kleshas are destroyed. Shubhada, it gives auspiciousness. And then the third one is Moksha Lagudhakrit, so that you consider liberation as insignificant. That happens only at the stage of Bhāva, not before that. Moksha Lagudhakrit, Sudurlabha. It is very rare. That is also referring to the Bhāva stage. The first two stages, Shubhada and Kleshagni, they belong to all the 6 stages. Your anarthas are getting destroyed. Kleshagni, and Shubhada, it's giving auspicious qualities. Everything happens in the first 6 to 7 stage. But in the 7th stage, 8th stage only, you would get Moksha Lagudhakrit and Sudurlabha. It's rare. We say bhakti is rare, but then sometimes the question comes, everybody is practicing bhakti, then how come it is rare? The bhakti which is rare is Bhāva. Not everybody is having Bhāva, glimpse of love of Godhead. We are practicing sadhana bhakti, so it is rare in that sense. Sudurlabha. The next 2 things are in the stage of prema. Kṛṣṇa Akarshini, Sandrananda Visheshatma. Very condensed. That is the stage of prema. And Kṛṣṇa Akarshini, it attracts Kṛṣṇa. So coming back here, Yasya cha paramanuhu ekah eva tamaha samastam unmuliyati. A minute atomic particle of Bhāva can destroy all your ignorance. Yasya parimalaihi prasmaraihi madhusudanam nimantriya aniya tatra prakati kartum prabhuyate. So because now it has a flower, the fragrance starts coming out of that flower. And then that fragrance is exuding everywhere. And it is going to the Goloka and it's attracting Kṛṣṇa from there. And Kṛṣṇa, who is he? Madhusudana. In Sanskrit, another meaning of Madhusudana is bee. A bee gets attracted by the fragrance of the flower and it comes to the flower and then drinks the honey. Like that, Kṛṣṇa is also attracted by this Bhāva. And then this fragrance invites Kṛṣṇa and then brings him here and it manifests in front of the devotee. So the devotee is able to witness God face to face. Kim bahuna yahyeva vasitaha chittavritti tila vidatayaha drevi bhavamasādya sadhyaha eva bhagavadangam akhilam snehayitum yogyatam datate. So what else, how much more to say about Bhāva? This Bhāva, what it does is, it takes all the emotions of your heart. These are spiritual emotions. All the spiritual emotions of your heart and then makes it an oil. These emotions are like sesame seeds. And then it churns out oil out of the just sesame seeds. And then it applies on all the limbs of the Lord. So basically, this is a poetic expression. Basically, your emotions are all over the Supreme Lord. Yaha kalu avirbhavan eva swa adharam swapacham api brahmadehe api namasatvam apadayati. After manifesting the Supreme Lord, what happens? This Bhāva makes the person who is possessing that Bhāva, that is the devotee, makes him worshipable to even Lord Brahma and other devatas. So he's becoming he has achieved a position greater than Brahma and other demigods. So they can come and worship him also. Even if he was a swapacha, even he was a dog eater. He was born as a dog eater. Not that he's continuing to eat dog, but he was born as a dog eater. Still, he's being worshipable. He's becoming worshipable for all the devatas, including Brahma. So the next, he's going to describe about what's happening with the devotee itself. Udyotamane cha asmin shamalina shamali manam vraja mahendra nandasya anganam eva arunyam tadiya adhara netra anta adehe eva dhavali manam tadiya vadanasmita chandrikadehe eva pitamanam tadambara bhushanadehe eva ledhum labdhva asanna samayam iva valita utkantham bhaktasya nayana dvandvam ashrubhi ajasram atmanam vishinchet. This one sentence. So at this stage of bhava, when the bhava gets manifest, your different senses are going to behave differently. So here first he is talking about nayana dvandvam, the two pairs of your eyes, or the devotee's eyes who has bhava. So it actually takes the role of a taster. It's a poetic expression. So I'm going to literally translate the poetic expression so you get an idea what's going on. These two eyes, they become a person, and then they taste the blackness of Kṛṣṇa. And then they taste the redness of his lips, and around his eyes also there is redness. It tastes that. And then it tastes the whiteness of his face, which is like a moon endowed with a smile. Smita means slight smile. And then it tastes the yellowness of his dhoti and his ornaments. And then it feels that the Lord is sitting next to him all the time. So it is eagerly looking for the Lord, these two eyes. And then it performs an abhisheka of the Lord with all the tears. Basically, he is able to witness all these different colors of the Lord. And what we are seeing in this world of the darkness, that is not the same darkness as Kṛṣṇa's color, because Kṛṣṇa's color is spiritual and it is ever new. When we look at blackness in this world, we just get bored after some time. But Kṛṣṇa's color, blackness, is actually ever new, ever fresh. The more you look at it, the more you will relish it, and the more the taste increases. So like this, all these colors are becoming an object of enjoyment for the eyes. And the tears start flowing from the...
Virgin Prabhu, for some reason, I think your voice is very faint. I don't know if it's only for me or for everyone.
Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you for mentioning. I would be talking to myself. Okay. Now, can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, now it's very clear.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
For some or the other reason, this voice is becoming all the time low. Okay, then he's going to describe about the years. Geetam tadiyam muralya eva sinjitam tadiya nupuradehe eva saundaryam tadiyam kantasya eva nidesham tatcharana paricharanasya eva tatkritam kamapi swasya avatangshi kartum mrigiyat iva sthane sthane kshane kshane shravanadvayam nishchali bhavat unnamet. So his 2 ears are always searching for the sound. They become very still, and they are trying to recognize the sound of the Supreme Lord. Suddenly the flute sound appears, and it's not listening to anything else. It's full, the ears are fully attentive to the flute sound. It hears, and suddenly it hears the walking of the Supreme Lord. His anklets are tinkling. He's able to hear that sound. So here the Lord is not completely manifest. He's manifesting now and then. Sometimes he manifests his form, he's able to witness, and sometimes the sound of the Supreme Lord is manifest. So that's why his ears are hearing that sound. It's so much completely focused. And then it is also hearing the walking, his steps when he is walking. It is like in messages. It's able to hear that. and whatever other sounds that are coming from the Supreme Lord, it is always searching to hear that sound, the ears. Evameva kidrushagava tad ubhayakara kushalya sparshaka iti tata eva tan anubhavat iva gatram romanchitam bhavet. If this is so, how it is going to be when the Supreme Lord comes and embraces this person? When he thinks this, at that moment itself, the two hands of the Supreme Lord comes and embraces, and then his hairs on the body stands on end. Tat saurabhyam labhyamanamiva vidushyahu nase prapulle kshane kshane shwasam grihitva prachichiche shatam. His nose is again, it's looking for the fragrance of the Supreme Lord, Kṛṣṇa. And it's blossoming, it's opening wide, and it's trying to smell the fragrance of Kṛṣṇa everywhere. Every breath, when it is taking in, it is trying to search for the fragrance of Kṛṣṇa in that. Hantha sa phena kim me swadaniya iti tada eva tam upalabhamane eva iva rasana api ullasam dadhana eva oshta adharau lihyat. Then the taste buds, it is thinking about this Kṛṣṇa's saliva. Phena means foam or saliva. When will I taste that? It is thinking. And then it is also trying to taste his lips and Oshta Adara, its lips only, two lips. Tadiya spurtau tam shakshad praptavat iva chetaha hrishet. Now the mind, which is the king of all these senses, how it is going to react. Tan madhuryasya aswada sampatya madhyet tadayeva tatiro bhave vishidet glayet iti evam sanchari bhavaihi atmanam alankurvativa shobheta. Sometimes the Supreme Lord appears within the mind, not just externally. Within the mind he appears. Kṛṣṇa. When Kṛṣṇa appears, the mind becomes very happy, very jubilant. And when it attains the taste of his beauty, it goes mad. And then when he disappears, it becomes very, very depressed and sad. In this way, all the Sanchari Bhavas, which we will be reading in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Sanchari Bhavas are the emotions that are going inside the perfected devotee. In this way, his mind is decorated with all these Sanchari Bhavas, all these different emotions for the Supreme Lord. Buddhi apatantam eva artham avadharayanti jagrat swapna sushuptishu tadiya smriti vartmani eva pantatvam adhyavasyet. So his intelligence is completely focused on only one goal, that is to attain Kṛṣṇa. And then in the state of his wakefulness, and when he is sleeping, dreamy state, and when he is completely deep sleep, in all these states, he is remembering the Supreme Lord, he is remembering Kṛṣṇa. Now in our conditioned state, when we are wakeful, we are distracted by so many material objects. And when we are sleeping, we are distracted by our dreams. And when we are in deep sleep, we don't know anything. We are just very deep in sleep. But in the case of a Bhāva Bhakta, in all these different states, he's continuing to think about Kṛṣṇa. Here he is actually giving a poetic expression that he says his intelligence becomes a wanderer in the path of the remembrance of Kṛṣṇa. It is always roaming around in remembering Kṛṣṇa. For us, we have to focus, but for the Bhāva Bhakta, it is always roaming around in remembrance of Kṛṣṇa. Ahanta cha prapsyamane seva upayogini siddhadhege pravishanti iva sadhaka shariram prayaha jahati iva virajate. The ahanta or I-ness Currently, we are identifying ourselves with the body. So the I-ness is attached to the body. We think we are this body. We are not able to perceive that we are Atma. We are thinking this is body because the ahanta, the minus or I-ness is attached to the body. But in the stage of Bhāva, this I-ness is attached to the Siddha Deha. Even though the Bhāva Bhakta will have a material body, he also has a spiritual body. And this I-ness is attached to that spiritual body. And that spiritual body is qualified to do service to Kṛṣṇa. So the I-ness is attached to that spiritual body. And then this external body, it would seem as if it has been given up. So in many states, you would see that, the Babajis, for example, like you would see Vangshidas Babaji would be simply sitting, because a lot of things are going on internally. He has his spiritual body, might be, participating in that. So this material body will look like a stone. It may not even be moving. Mamata ta cha tat charana aravinda makarande eva madhukari bhavitum upakramata iti. Then the mamata, that is minus, that minus takes the form of a bee, and then it goes and sits around the pollen of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, Kṛṣṇa. Poetic expression again. Sahacha bhaktaha praptam maharatnam kripanaha iva janebhyaha bhavam gopayan api kshanti vairagyadinam aspati bhavan. So this person will behave as if a miserly person. A miserly person, if he has attained some valuable jewel, what he will do? He will go and hide it from the people so that others won't take it. Very secretly, he will hide it. Like that, this devotee has attained bhava. So he will try to hide it from all the people as if he has possessed a great valuable thing. He won't reveal that he is having bhava for Kṛṣṇa. Shanti vairagyadinam aspadi bhavan. He will become an abode of Shanti, that is tolerance, Vairagya, detachment. He will be extremely detached with all the things outside, and he will become a abode of tolerance. Lasat lalatam eva antardhanam katayati iti nyayena tad vignya sadhu ghoshtam viditaha bhavet. But the expert devotees who are expert in understanding the symptoms, they will recognize him. They will know, everything is written on his face. They could easily understand it. Face is the index of the mind. By that logic, they will understand everything from his face only, even though everything is hidden within the Bhāva Bhakta's heart. Anyatra tu vikshiptaha iti unmattaha iti sajjataha iti durlakshatam gachet. But for other people, he won't look like a Bhāva Bhakta. He will look like a crazy person or a deranged person, mental person, right? In this way, he will attain a state of durlaksha. That is, he will be unknown by the outsiders. Then he's going to talk about, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is going to talk about the differences of Bhāva Bhakti. Sahacha bhavaha raga bhakti uttaha vaidi bhakti uttaha iti dvividaha. So this bhava is of two types. That which arose from raga bhakti, raganuga bhakti, and that which arose from vaidi bhakti. So you would be practicing vaidi and raganuga bhakti before the stage of bhava, not at the stage of bhava. Because at the stage of bhava, you are attaining two different kinds of bhava. If you have practiced raganuga bhakti, you would attain raga bhakti utta Bhava. If you practiced Vaidhi Bhakti, you would attain Vaidhi Bhakti Bhava. Adyaha jati pramanabhyamadikena mahima jnana anadarena bhagavati samanya adikyat cha sandraha. The first one, which the Bhava arose from the Raganuga Bhakti, it is of a high quality and very strong in nature. And it does not have the awareness of Kṛṣṇa as Supreme God. It treats Kṛṣṇa as an equal person. Same kind. He's another person, but he is the best person, like that. Not like the Mayavadis or the materialists who think that Krishna is actually one of the best persons in the history. Not like that. But in this way, in this sense, he is treating Krishna as very close to him, and he is the best person. But he is not aware. Is not going to become aware that Krishna is Supreme God. And this is very thick, because that awareness of Krishna as God is not there. It's going to be very intimate. Dvitiyaha tabhyam pratamataha kinchit nyunatvena aishwarya jnana viddha mamatvatvat cha asandraha. The second one, which is the bhava, which arose from Vaidhi Bhakti, it is a little bit less in quality, because it is pierced by the Aishwarya Jnana, that is awareness of Krishna as Supreme God. And because of that, it is not so thick or not so intimate with Krishna. Prayaha dvividaha eva ayam bhavaha dvividhanam bhaktanam dvivida chit vasana sanateshu hridayeshu spuran dvividha aswadatyatvam bhajate. So this, in general, the bhava takes two forms, the Vaidhi or sadhana, Vaidhi or Raganuga. And this goes and fills up the heart of these two types of devotees, and it attains different taste. Gana rasaha iva rasala pana sa ikshu drakshadishu pravishtaha pratak madhurya vatvam bhajate. Just as if you take a juice, let's say the sweetness in all the fruits, there's only one type of sweetness, but that sweetness enters into all the fruits, such as sugarcane, mango, jackfruit, grapes. In different fruits, it enters, and then it manifests as different fruit. So similarly, this bhava also enters into different devotees, and it manifests varieties of tastes. Techa bhaktaha shantadasa saki pitra prayasi bhavavantaha panchavidaha siyuhu. So in this way, the devotees take a role of 5 different rasas. Shanta, dasa, that is servant, servitude; saki, friendship; pitra, fatherhood or parenthood; prayasi, loverhood, right? It takes about, the devotees take a role of 5 types. Tatra shanteshu shantihi iti dasheshu pritihi iti sakishu shakyam iti pitru bhavavatsu vatsalyam iti prayasi bhavavatsu priyata iti namatedam. So in Shanta Bhava, you would get Shantarasa. In Dasya Bhava, you would get Dasya, etc. That's what he is mentioning. Yes, I will take question. I have only one paragraph. I just want to complete it. Punahacha ayam shva shaktaihi avirbhavitaihi vibhava anubhava vyabhicharibihi atma iva raja iva va prakritibihi udbhuta aishwaryaha sthayi iti namna vaishishtyam gachan taihi militaha shantaha iti dasham iti sakyam iti vatsalyam iti ujjvala iti labdha vibhedaha rasaha bhavati. So here he is explaining how this bhava becomes rasa. So this bhava is called the sthayi bhava. Sthayi bhava is the steady emotion you have for Krishna. You can have in shanta, peaceful, and dasya, servitude, friendship, or lover, or parenthood. You can have this bhava in any types targeted toward Krishna. But it also has additional ingredients, vibhava, anubhava, vyabhichari bhava, which we will see in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. All these combine together to make this sthayi bhava as rasa. Just as if you want to make a halwa, you put suji, you roast it, and then you add sugar, water, and other ingredients, and then you make halwa. You don't go and simply eat the sugar alone. So the sthayi bhava is like a sugar, but then it has to be mixed with other ingredients. It becomes a flavorful taste, like that. Then it becomes rasa. Yaha hi rasaha vai saha rasam hi eva ayam labdhvanandi bhavati iti shrutya abhidiyate. So what is that rasa? That rasa is Krishna himself. Krishna himself personified. And once we attain that rasa, we become very, very, very blissful. And this is given in Shruti. This is from Taittiriya Upanishad. I am anyatra avatare avatarini va sambhavan api swayam sampurtimanam tatra tatra alabhamanaha vrajendra nandane eva swakashtham labhate. This rasa attains its completeness only in Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. In other avatars, it does not attain its completeness. It is a little bit not fully complete. That is why Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the first verse starts with Akhila Rasamrita Murti. Akhila Rasa, he is the embodiment of all the rasas, Krishna. Because in the case of Vishnu, what you will see, there is no Madhurya Rasa except for Lakshmi, and that is also more in a Swakiya sense. But with other devotees, you don't have different types of relationship to Vishnu or Nrsimha or other forms. In Krishna's form, however, you have all types of relationships. Because within Krishna, the rasa attains fullness. Just as the water attains its fullness in an ocean. Though the water also exists in rivers and lakes and streams, it is not full. But in the ocean, it attains its fullness. Nadda nadi tadakadishu sambhavat api yatha samudre eva jala nidhitvam. Yaha hi bhavasya pratama parinatau eva utpadyamanaha eva premani murtahe eva rasaga sakshad eva tadvata bhaktena anubhuyate iti. So this bhava, it has appeared in its first stage, in bhava stage. And then it will attain its completeness in the stage of prema, which we will be discussing next. And that time, the devotee will experience the completeness of this bhava, this rasa. Okay, I will stop here. Feel free to leave or drop if you have any questions, and feel free to ask. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, I had a question about this. You mentioned about bhava arising out of Vaidhi Bhakti as well as Raganuga Bhakti. So, Prabhu, there are these two parallel tracks go on till the last stage, or how it happens, Prabhu?
Yeah, you would attain different destination. Raganuga Bhakti is only restricted for Krishna in Vraja. You don't have Raganuga Bhakti for Nrsimhadev or Vishnu or any other forms of the Lord. It's only for Krishna in Vraja. Even to attain Krishna in Dwaraka, you can perform just Vaidhi Bhakti and then you can attain. But for Krishna in Vraja, then Raganuga Bhakti is what one practices, and it propels that person toward Krishna. So you have different destinations.
So in Gaudiya Sampradaya, we practice Vaidhi Bhakti, but at the it is mentioned that when you are perfected your sadhana in the Vaidhi Bhakti way, then you will get in some inspiration to follow in the footsteps of some Vrajavasi to begin your Raganuga Bhakti, right, Prabhu?
No, I think what chapter are we reading? We are reading is still second chapter, right? Okay. In the third chapter or in the second chapter only, he will actually talk about, Rupa Goswami will talk about this Raganuga Bhakti, how one achieves Raganuga Bhakti. He says he achieves Raganuga Bhakti by the mercy of a Raganuga devotee. So the Guru, who is a Raganuga devotee, he will give you that Raganuga Bhakti. So it is only through devotee, not by inspiration. It's through the devotee one attains.
So, Prabhu, although we will be practicing Vaidhi Bhakti up to a certain stage, we are always worshipping Krishna, right, Prabhu? Then how come...
we are also not practicing fully Vaidhi Bhakti, because if you go to Madhva Sampradaya, they will be practicing completely Vaidhi Bhakti. So many rules and regulations will become the emphasis, and they don't even change the food they are offering to Krishna for thousands and thousands of years. It's the same menu, but in our temples and all, we don't follow rules strictly like that, because the emphasis is also there on spontaneity as well. So there is some elements of raga is also there. Spontaneity is also there in our sampradaya. But as one achieves a closer association with Raganuga Bhakta, then one achieves Raganuga Bhakti, and then he practices and then he progresses.
So for the people who are not fortunate to get the mercy of a Raganuga Bhakta Prabhu, so I'm just saying that we are still doing Vaidhi Bhakti, but worshipping Krishna. And then what would be the destination, as you mentioned? Then they will be going to other forms, the planets of other Vishnu avatars. So could you please explain that, Prabhu?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we are also not practicing fully Vaidhi Bhakti, so we cannot say it's fully Vaidhi Bhakti. There is element of Raganuga in it. But again, even if that is the case, if one couldn't achieve Raganuga Bhakti because of, for whatever reasons it is, and worships Radha and Krishna still, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he actually questions in one of the commentaries of Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He says, this devotee cannot be put in Vaikuntha because Vaikuntha Vishnu is there. He did not worship Vishnu when he was doing sadhana. So how come suddenly he worships throughout his life Krishna and Radha, and then suddenly he will attain Vishnu? That doesn't make sense. So then would he attain Krishna in Dwaraka? That is also not the case because Radha is not there in Dwaraka. All the queens are there in Dwaraka. So throughout his life, this person has worshipped Radha and Krishna. But Radha and Krishna and Vraja can only be attained by Raganuga Bhakti. So where this person is going to go? Then he says there is a place called Aishwarya Goloka, which is a Goloka only, but it is a little bit with reverential attitude is also there. So where Radha and Krishna will be there, and he would attain that place. This place is also mentioned in Bhagavatam 10th canto, where after Nanda Maharaj comes out of Varuna's planet, right? And he sees that Krishna was treated with respect by Varuna Dev. And then when Krishna comes out, everybody in Vraja, they are recognizing, oh, Krishna is not what we thought. He seems to be God because all these devatas are respecting him. So then they all went to Krishna and then said, show us your abode, because we are interested in seeing how the God's abode would look like. Then he actually reveals an abode. So there, Krishna is worshipped by personification of Vedas. So that is the Aishwarya Goloka, where it's like, the Vedas personified are there, more like Aishwarya thing is going on. But Radha and Krishna are worshipped there. So that much he has given hint. So I think that would be the destination.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anything else?
Prabhu, we have 2 raised hands, I think.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. Okay. Yes. Rohini Dulal Prabhu.
Prabhu, Ulysses Prabhu can go first.
Okay, Ulysses Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for this wonderful lecture. We have a few questions. The first question is, what is the stage that you are situated in those 9?
Oh, my stage? I'm going through Anartha Nivritti. Yeah.
So I've been always troubled with this because we are talking about very elevated topics.
Okay.
Like if I'm in the stage of Anartha Nivritti or Nishta, like that, do I have the qualification to speak about Bhāva?
Yeah. So we are repeating, that's why we are repeating the words of the Acharyas and Guru. We don't have that qualification. We don't even know how the stage is going to be. We just read through Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, and then that's why we are reading through this and trying to understand how is that. Why is this helpful? Because we are in the stage of Anartha Nivritti. Maybe we should read only about Nishta. Why are we reading beyond that? These stages are helpful because it develops a desire within us. It motivates us. It pulls us toward that. So we become inspired. I want to achieve Bhāva, but immediate goal would be Nishta, but then still that the desire to achieve Bhāva is there. Just as a student who is in the, you would say middle school or something like that, if he hears about what the doctors or the neurosurgeon are doing, he may get inspired. Though he has to complete his studies, immediate studies, but it is pull is going to be there to become a neurosurgeon or a software engineer or something like that. So that desire can pull through him through that. The teacher who is teaching may not understand what neurosurgeon is doing, but by studying the works or getting to understand from expert doctors, he can get some idea about it. So still, when we are reading through it, we are getting some idea because we are filtering everything through our own understanding, but we are getting an idea about it. Once we go to that stage, we will get full realization.
Yeah. So, like for example, this is Madhurya Kādambini, and I find two translations that are almost like so different in quality.
Okay.
And then you are offering your own translation here. Like it seems you speak Sanskrit, or like you're expert Sanskrit.
Oh, so I'm learning Sanskrit. So with Sanskrit, it's a lifetime learning. Yeah, so I went through this with my own. I also refer to Bhānuswami Maharaj translation because he's my Shiksha Guru as well. I refer to him back and forth, and then I try to understand the Sanskrit, and then I.
So I get the feeling that if one is not situated in that stage, one cannot deliver the knowledge. We can say it, of course, but it's so elevated that the delivery is going to be incomplete. So that's my understanding.
Yeah. Right.
So which of the translations would you consider like delivered by a prema bhakta?
So that I cannot say, because I cannot say the author stage. I can only talk about myself. I don't know what is the author stage. We would have to ask them what stage they are in.
I understand. Thank you very much.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Yeah, Rohini Dulal Prabhu, you can ask your question, please.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhu. Dhanush Pranam.
Prabhuji, Bhāva is said to be the glimpse of love of Godhead, right? He will get a glimpse of the love of Godhead, and when it is condensed, it becomes prema.
Right.
Bhāva stays when we associate with some pure devotees. So there may be this chaya things, chaya of the bhava reflected in our hearts, right? So of course, pratibimba and chaya are there. I think pratibimba was referred to the Mayavadis, impersonalist, I believe. So when this chaya happens, right, I was wondering, so we feel certain kind of ecstasy when we do kirtans with pure devotees. So is that considered chaya when we do in great association of devotees? So because the glimpses remain for some time, it goes away. So
yeah.
Yes,
So in that classification, he actually says chaya is the chaya rati abhas. It appears in the person who is ignorant. So the practicing devotee is not ignorant. Ignorant is the person, sometimes some person comes, he didn't have any background about bhakti, but then he comes to, ended up landing in a lecture of a great devotee, or he ended up landing in a place where a great Vaishnava is sitting there. Then suddenly, because of the narrations of Kṛṣṇa is going on, suddenly he will feel that this, something in his body is happening, hairs may stand on end or something like that. All these different emotions will be going through. So that is called a chaya, the ignorant person, who is experiencing. But the devotee who is practicing devotee, he himself also sometimes experiences. But you can say that is similar to the pratibimba ratyabhas, because the sadhaka may still have desire for liberation, or he may still have desire for material things also. So in that way, you can say it pratibimba ratyabhas, but not explicitly called out by Rupa Goswami as is a sadhaka bhaktas ratyabhas. But he gives these two ratyabhas in the sadhana bhakti only. So from that, we can understand he's referring to the sadhaka as well.
Thank you, Prabhu. I was considering in the opposite way. Thanks for So
Yeah, I mean, you could consider ignorant means, we are also ignorant about the bhava and the prema. So in that way, we can say we are ignorant. But he didn't specifically clarify, neither the commentaries also clarify as far as I understand.
Okay. And the other point that I was asking, right, is that considered a chaya or a pratibimba of bhava when a devotee experiences in the association of great saints?
Yeah, which is the same question, right? What is the difference?
Is that ecstasy considered pratibimba or chaya?
That's what I thought you asked.
Yes, Prabhuji. So I was asking, you are answering between pratibimba and chaya.
Correct.
Thinking, it's a regular experience, right? When you go into the great association of devotees.
Yeah.
So we consider to be getting that, or I was thinking it's not.
Oh, are we getting it or we are not getting it? Is that your question?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, yeah, we are getting a glimpse of that because we are in the association of great Vaishnavas. We may get a glimpse of that rati. It may not be the real rati. That's why it fades away. If it is a real rati, then it won't fade away. It will continue to be stuck all the time with us. But it is not real. It is just a shadow, imitation, just appears for some time. And then when we come home back, maybe we are interested in material things. We'll get attracted by other things. So in that way, it is not continuous also.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. I understand that. So basically, one has to associate regularly so that that may become strong. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I raised my hand only small clarification. In order to get Raganuga Bhakti, it is mentioned that we have to follow a Brajavasi. So is it that we have to truly go to Braj and follow him, or in mind we can take shelter of one of the 6 Goswamis whom we actually like?
Vrajavasis don't necessarily mean the rickshawalas and autowalas in Vrindavan. Some of them may be having material desires also. Here, Vrajavasis mean those people who are in the associates, those people who are in Vrindavan spiritual world, who are the associates of the Supreme Lord. So you take shelter of them in the sense that you would be inspired to follow after a particular Nitya-siddha. For example, somebody will be inspired to follow after Madhumangal. Then that person will follow. He will be pulled by the sweetness of Madhumangal having for Kṛṣṇa. Or some person will have interest in following after Lalita Sakhi or something like that. Or some person will have interest in Raktaka or Patraka, the servants of Kṛṣṇa. So in this way, different people will get pulled by different people. Then that person is eligible for Raganuga Bhakti. So
how about our 6 Goswamis in
6 Goswamis are Manjaris only. They are in Madhurya Rasa. Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. So one can also follow them because that
no need to go to Vrindavan actually, right? It's a mind, everything, right? In a heart and mind it relates to. No need to go to, they are not there right now, but still,
Yeah. So taking shelter of Vrindavan is also one of the 5 main angas of bhakti. 5 main angas, right? A, B, C, D, E, association, Bhagavatam, and C is chanting, and D is deity, and D is entering Dham. So all these are important angas of bhakti, sadhana bhakti only. But the final one, the entering the Dham, cannot be done by all the devotees because the whole population goes and sits there. It is not possible. Rupa Goswami understands that, and he says that if one is not possible to be in the Dham, one can take shelter of the Dham in their mind. Maybe when we are chanting, we can just think that we are sitting in Vrindavan Dham and then we are chanting, something like that. He gives an option there.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Ulysses Prabhu. I'll take this as a last question.
Thank you, Prabhu. I'm trying to understand how these 9 stages relate to the 3 stages of Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahman. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan realization.
Yeah. So Brahman and Brahman realization, you don't have these stages. You follow Jnana Bhakti, and then jnana mixed with a little bit of bhakti, and then a person attains Brahman. It is impersonal realization. And for Paramatma, the usual process is yoga mixed with bhakti. And then through that, he realizes Paramatma. And for Bhagavan, the usual process is bhakti, pure bhakti. Following pure bhakti, you attain Bhagavan form. So these 9 stages, it is explaining the bhakti aspect, not the other 2, jnana or yoga path. So these are 3 different paths. But of course, bhakti itself can award you all the 3 realizations as well. But usually when one practices bhakti, when one tries to achieve the best of all the 3 forms, which is Bhagavan form. So in that sense, this is describing the path to attain Bhagavan.
But that wouldn't that be unrealistic? Like, because that would mean that someone in the stage of Shraddha has to be already Paramatma realized. But that would be unrealistic, no? Because like dog eater we were mentioning, you know.
Why you are saying the person in the stage of Shraddha, he has to be in Paramatma realized? Why you are saying?
That's what I understood, that you're saying these 9 stages belong to the Bhagavan stage. And so that...
Oh, it is not a ladder. It is not like first you need to attain Brahman stage, then you attain Paramatma stage, then you attain Bhagavan stage. It is like 3 parallel tracks. You can choose which track, just like I can study for a doctor after completing my college, or I can study for engineering, or I can study for something else, actor or actress, whatever it is. These are parallel tracks. Someone can follow the parallel track and then go. But we also see some cases, in the case of Shukadeva Goswami, where he became an impersonal he achieved impersonal liberation, he achieved Brahman, and then from there he jumped to Bhakti. So that is also possible, but usually these are all parallel tracks.
I never get that understanding of parallel tracks. Can you provide a quote for that?
Yeah, maybe I'll share it in the group if that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Shankaran Prabhu also dropped. We'll just stop here. Thank you everyone for listening. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.